The perfect example of why PvP will never be the best gaming experience in this game. Okay, so I'm not too sure if we needed an example for that. I don't think this game ever pretended to try to deliver on a PvP experience that would be considered, the best this game has to offer. However, we do have a pretty heartbreaking clip here of a cheater in PvP. And it's a pretty good clip, I gotta say. The cheater is very open with cheating. They are actively discussing it in the chat. But with that said, is PvP really the perfect example of why PvP will never be the best gaming experience in this game? As far as my experience with cheating, I haven't ran into many cheaters in this game. I think, if anything, I ran into quite possibly one cheater in this game. Nothing that really comes to mind, though. That said, I played a lot of PvP when the game came out. Here and there, I will play some PvP, but sometimes I just don't have time for it. But it's still really fun. It's still really fun. And when I came back for a couple games, I think I'm like almost level 27, something like that. I did not run into any cheaters. So I honestly, as far as the title goes for this clip, the perfect example of PvP, the perfect example of why PvP will never be the best gaming experience in this game. I just don't think the devs wanted PvP to be the best experience in this game. It's really, I don't think cheating is holding back PvP as much as just PvP not really being updated. I think there are still some glaring issues in PvP, but there's really only like two glaring issues: shock grenades and the amount the assault class can keep jumping up and down and slamming. So it really depends. The thing about the assault class, though, if you have some good snipers, it's really like you can definitely manage. Shock grenades, though, with tacticals are definitely very powerful. But yeah, everyone definitely enjoys playing PvP when they are playing it. Like, trust me, I know there are some people who don't like PvP and they don't play it at all. That's fine. But as far as I know, the people I've seen try PvP, they said they enjoy it. It's definitely something. It's definitely supposed to be just like a side activity to the actual game. I think PvP is a great way to just kind of, relax with Space Marine 2. If you really just want to, you played a lot of operations, you did a lot of grinding. If you feel like you just are a little bit burnt out on the main operations, I think honestly PvP is a great way to kind of just switch it up a little bit, and then you can definitely kind of just relax with the game and feel a little bit less pressured to continue grinding operations. It's just, honestly, it's a really good shift in pace, basically, is what I will say. But okay, let's go into this clip. Let's see this reckless cheating that is destroying PvP. Okay, someone in the chat says, "Oh my god, cheaters on our side, let them play," which is wild. And there is music in this, so I can't really play the audio. But as you can see, this person's using the Melta and one-shotting people through walls, it seems like. Yeah, that's definitely ugly cheating behavior, 100%. That is definitely bad. Yep, people in the chat are talking about how, obviously they are cheating here. Yeah, their name is their profile, obviously. That is kind of how it works in, bye, cheat. How do you report players? I've been reported for a month. But yeah, see, the way the PvP works, this is the names of your Steam profile anyway, so it's not like doxing or anything. I've been reported for a month. Every day I'm still here. Dude's gotten over a life. I've never seen this player before. But okay, so this is interesting. This conversation is really interesting here. This person is about to say, how confident are you exactly that they won't be banned? And this person responds with very confident, very confident that they will not be banned. Now, this is definitely a rough clip to watch. I think this is one of the most egregious PvP cheating clips we've seen in a long time, so I definitely wanted to cover it. This is definitely rough. I think they show the kills, right? Yeah, at the end. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what happens in this game. This game ended up being... Also, by the way, shout out to this player who got the clip. They are level 28. They are obviously a dedicated PvPer. It does seem like they jumped into this game a little bit at the end of it. But okay. This is what I wanted to cover. First of all, one player here getting 23 deaths, which is interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what their angle there was. Maybe they got some clips themselves that they wanted to send to the devs to get this person banned or whatever. But I will say, this is not a functional PvP game. this is the one benefit to not taking PvP seriously, is the fact that if this happens, you can just leave and there's no, you don't like lose SR or anything. You don't lose rank points if there's a cheater. You can simply just leave and switch the mode to say this is capture and control. This is, capture and control. You can just definitely just switch the mode to avoid this cheater. And I guess you could also block them. You could likely also block them on Steam to not run into them. So this is likely why this whole lobby is kind of empty. Even on the winning side team, you only have 5 players. So it's likely a couple players here just chatting about this cheater. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of every game this cheater plays, there's likely maybe 2 or 3 people, something like that, you know? Because it's just super obvious. This dude put up 62 and 0. What was his points? 6,002. See, that's the craziest thing, man. That's a high score. But I've had scores like the highest score I've ever had in PvP was like high 4,000s or something. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, there's absolutely 0 reasons why you need to cheat this hard. And I think this person has a little message for the devs at the end saying that the cheater doesn't respect the devs and the devs should do something about it. And I think there's definitely something they can do about it. But yeah, as far as dealing with somebody who's doing something this egregious, just leave the game. Leave the game, switch the mode, block them on Steam. That's literally kind of solving the problem on your end. But as far as like the devs who want people to jump into PvP and be interested in playing PvP, you know, people who are new to PvP don't want to see this. But I will say, just with my own experience with cheaters, I really have not seen this many cheaters before. Well, I will say I haven't seen really any cheating before, but this person who got this clip plays more PvP than me. So the thing is, with that means people who are dedicated in PvP likely will run across a cheater like this at least once or twice. Let me know in the comments if you've actually ran into any cheating in PvP recently. But I'm not too sure if cheating is the thing that killed PvP, because it is perfectly easy to just, you know, leave the game and switch the mode and go find another PvP lobby. PvP isn't taken that seriously, so it kind of works both ways. For the people who need a sort of dedicated leaderboard for the PvP experience, you won't see that here. But for the people who don't want to get their progress stolen by cheaters, you won't really see that here either, because if you're in a game with a cheater, you can just leave. But I will say this is obviously bad. This is obviously something the devs should do something about. But if I had a like some sort of monkey's paw or whatever, if the options were, hey, the devs will literally ban this guy, but you won't see an update on PvP for 4 months, and then the other part of that is like, the devs will let this guy keep playing the game, but you'll get a PvP update literally tomorrow, I would definitely... I won't say what I'm going to pick, to be honest, but yeah, I will say PvP... The thing that is holding PvP back is the fact that it hasn't had a lot of updates. I feel like that is more of a priority than cheaters right now. But yeah, don't use that example. Don't hold that against me. That was pretty goofy example. I cannot possibly see this being fun for more than a match or 2. Every day for a month? Why? I will take what this cheater says with a grain of salt. I mean, it's not so much of what they're saying, it's just what they're doing. I mean, they're literally a cheater. What makes you think they're going to be an honest person? You know what I mean? That said, if we do take it at face value, yeah, they're doing it every day for a month. So they, like, got the game, like, a month ago. February, playing PvP. I don't know. Maybe what happened is they beat the game, they downloaded some mods, figured out some sort of way to start cheating, I guess. I'm not too sure how you cheat in this game. So I really hope, here's the thing. You would think, actually, that brings up a good point. Yeah, you would think that the mod detection would be able to find a cheat like this, but regardless, if the only thing they're doing is just sitting there and one-shotting people through walls, in turn making sure everyone quits the game, literally, like, probably everybody in the match, yeah, it's definitely not fun. They're literally in a lobby by themselves with 1 or 2 other people who don't know better, who are just sitting there just, like, curious to what's happening. Eventually, they're going to farm their way out of not being able to find a match, I will say. But yeah, it's definitely not fun. Bit of a dramatic title. Encountered 0 cheaters in this game in the time it took me to max out nearly every PvP ordeal. Oh, wow, okay. Annoying thing to have happen for sure, but I wouldn't say this is a major issue holding the PvP mode back. Yeah, I mean, look, I won't say the title's dramatic. The video's a little bit dramatic, I think, but the title does have a good point about PvP being maintained. It's not so much the cheaters, it is the attention the devs are giving PvP. And I do think the devs have it, I do think they have it right. I would rather see Horde mode and new operations, stuff like that, come out before PvP is kind of, patched. But that said, there's really little work that I think PvP also needs as far as patching goes. Am I surprised there's a couple cheaters who kind of fell through the cracks? No. Would I be surprised if cheating actually starts to increase in PvP in this game? No. But I do think what is hurting PvP more is the lack of updates. But with that said, yeah, if they did nothing about cheating in this game, it would definitely become the major issue holding PvP mode back, 100%. Like, straight up, if you think like if they can't do anything about it, PvP cheaters, if they can't do anything about it, that would mean they would be less inclined to update PvP regardless. So, as of right now, I do think PvP just needs an update or two to kind of, spice it up a bit. But long term, the cheaters falling through the cracks will eventually destroy that PvP mode, 100%. Glad it works for you. I hate the Melta and multi-Melta. The fire rate ruins it for me. What? Dude, there's some comments that just, yeah. Completely clueless of what this post is about. They just decide to comment, hey, you know what, the multi-Melta, man, I never liked it.